Ponzi schemes, they're more common than what you think. I've almost fallen victim to one before. If you've been approached by one, if you don't know what a Ponzi scheme is, watch this video. This might save you in the future. So, like I said, I've almost fallen victim to one before. So I'm going to give you a little story time about that later on in the video. But first, let's actually have a look at what a Ponzi scheme is. So, a Ponzi scheme can also be known as a pyramid scheme and more recently MLMs, multi-level marketing. So what is a Ponzi scheme? A fraudulent system that involves paying existing investors in a non-existent enterprise with the funds collected from new investors. So let's say for example I start a Ponzi scheme. So I say I'm this big entrepreneur, I've started this new business, and we're trying to recruit people for the business. And I promise people that they're going to be selling this, selling that. To join my business, you have to pay me £500. But an incentive, once you join my business, you can also recruit people for my business. They pay you £500 and you then keep the £250. So it's just a cycle. So that person now recruits more people, and people just start recruiting people to get the commission. And eventually at the bottom of the pyramid or the Ponzi scheme, there's going to be people who lose out. So that essentially is a Ponzi scheme, and Ponzi schemes are actually illegal in most countries. If we look here, a Ponzi scheme is an investment fraud that pays existing investors with funds collected from new investors. Ponzi schemes are named after Charles Ponzi. In the 1920s, Ponzi promised investors a 50% return within a few months for what he claimed was an investment in international mail coupons. Ponzi used funds from new investors to pay fake returns to the early investors. So like we said, it's literally just a pyramid. People at the bottom pay the people at the top, and the people at the bottom lose out. And also, like I said, multi-level marketing is what it's called nowadays. If people tell you it's an MLM, it's not always fraud, but you should be wary of that if they're saying it's an MLM. So, like I said, I've almost fallen victim to Ponzi schemes. I've been approached numerous amount of times. If you're an entrepreneur or business owner, if you're someone who seems like they're interested in making money, people are always going to approach you. So this is probably the most interesting story time. It was probably around 2014, 2015. I was an apprentice engineer. I was earning good money. I was probably earning about 35, 40 grand a year from that. And I also had a business. So I used to be a reseller. I used to resell trainers, and I was doing well from that as well. And I used to post about my reselling on my personal page. So I wasn't using my personal page to grow my business. I was more just like documenting my journey. So on my stories, people would see what I'm doing. Anyways, some girl that I knew through mutual friends, probably for about 3 or 4 years prior, replied to one of my stories saying, "Oh, you look like someone who's entrepreneurial, like you seem like you're open-minded, looking at ways of making new money." She said, "We should meet up and I got a business opportunity for you." So I said, okay. The girl was good looking, a business opportunity. I thought, you know what, worst case scenario, the opportunity is dead. I could shoot my shot at her, is what it is. So we agreed to meet in Stratford Westfield. If you're from London, East London, having a business meeting in Stratford Westfield is already a red flag. But it was on my way to work. I was working a night shift. I was thinking, yeah, I'll just drop by on the way to work, see what she's saying. No harm lost. I'll probably take an hour of my time, then I'll just go to work. So I got there now. She was there. I can't remember what she was wearing, but she was there with her mentor. And her mentor was wearing a full suit. So already I'm thinking, okay, maybe he's serious. But then we go to the meeting in the food court bit of Stratford Westfield. So if you're not from London, if you're not from the UK, you're not even from the UK, imagine this, like you go for a business meeting and you basically do it at the tables in KFC. That's where we was doing the business meeting. So again, red flag. The guy pulls out his iPad now and he starts talking about the companies they work with. So he's talking about like they work with Virgin Media, some other phone companies, and then basically the business opportunity was I could sell the Virgin Media contracts on behalf of his company, and they pay me a commission. And say, for example, if the standard Virgin Media package through Virgin is £60, because his company is buying in bulk, they can sell it to the customer for £45. I'll get like a 20-30% commission. I was thinking, okay, that actually sounds legit. Like that sounds like a good opportunity, because if I could save, say, family members, friends, my network, I probably had like 2,000 followers on social media. If I could save people £15 on their bills, then I can make some money as well. That sounds like a good opportunity. So I'm hearing him out. He's telling me more and more about the company. So it gets to the point where he says, cool. So to get signed up on his system. So he had like a back end system, like a website where you join and they tell you all the deals and then you can track your commission and everything like that. So he said, yeah, to join, you have to pay, I think it was like £500 or £300, something like that. So I didn't think much of it. I'm thinking, okay, that makes sense. Like he has the connection to get for me to get connected to that. I have to pay a fee, which makes sense in any business. So cool. I was like, yeah, cool. I'm hearing him out, hearing out. And then he says, okay, cool. So what I want you to do now, I want you to call 3 people from your phone book and sell them this offer. And I was like, what? I was like, what do you mean call 3 people? He goes, yeah, just call them up. I'll give you a little script to say. I was like, bro, I haven't even researched into your company properly, and you're asking me to call 3 people from my phone book. He's like, yeah, you could call your mom, your sister. I'm thinking, this guy's going crazy. Like, why am I gonna sell my mum a contract that I don't even know the ins and out of it? I was thinking, this guy is crazy. He must think I'm an idiot. So he's telling me, he's trying to apply pressure, and I'm like, I can't be pressured into. I'm just like, respectfully, no, like, I'm not doing it. No, I wouldn't even call my friends and families to bother them on a day-to-day basis, and you want me to sell them a phone contract or internet contract that I don't even know the ins and out of yet. You're going mad. So I told him, yep, I've got work. Literally, I did have work anyway, but I rushed it anyway. So yeah, I got work. I'll think about it. Left there, went to work. The girl who introduced me to him over the next few days is messaging me saying, yeah, you should come back and have another meeting, and I just aired it. And then I looked further into the company, looked into the like reviews on Trustpilot and stuff, and yeah, lo and behold, it was a Ponzi scheme. People are saying it's a Ponzi scheme. Basically, yeah, the way that people make money from that is they sign up new people. They're always signing up new commission sellers, and they're the people actually bringing the money. The commission sellers who are paying the £500 fee, you get your little 50% of their fee, and it was just a Ponzi scheme. Anyway, never went back to it. But at one point in that meeting, I was thinking it was a good business opportunity. And if you're young and impressionable, opportunities like this, especially even if you know it's a Ponzi scheme, some people even know it's a Ponzi scheme, but knowing they can make £150 commission off every person they sign up, they're willing to do it. And if you're a young person and you're approached by someone who's in a Ponzi scheme, MLM, pyramid scheme, whatever you want to call it, and they're offering you these commissions, these £150, £200, it could even be up to like £500 per person you sign up, I would advise you not to do it. The money might seem good, but your reputation in business will be finished, if not forever, for a very long time. So I'm 31 years old now, and that happened just over 10 years ago. So when I was like 19. The people who was involved in that now, if I recognize them, I would never do business with them again. I'll even tell people explicitly not to do business. I'll say that these people are running a Ponzi scheme. They're not to be trusted. It ruins your reputation in business. So I would advise you to be vigilant. If someone's offering you a business opportunity that is commission based, look into it. See if it's actually a viable business structure and actually getting money from outside sources, like they have contracts with other companies and partners, or if their money is coming purely through sign-ups and signing up new people to sell for them. So guys, I hope this little story time has discouraged anyone or just made people aware that Ponzi schemes are out there in different shapes and sizes, and it might sound good, but just be vigilant. I'm posting daily uploads on this channel. Make sure you subscribe and follow me for more on socials. I'm broke, baby.